Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, once again, another week, another day down, another week down, and we are here live and direct. We are here live and direct, man. This is Mask Off Podcast, episode 116 Pops. 116 Pops. And you know, I am, if you don't know who I am, I'm Big Tone. And I'm here giving the people what they want all day, every day. No fuss, no cuss. We just here doing our thug thizzle, man. And my young boy, he's with me too. he got some sound issues. And it's always during the time we gotta come on. So I don't know. I think he be wanting me to give him like this intro. So I don't know. Without further ado, my young boy, starting for the DJ. No, I'm not doing all that. What's up, youngin?
What's the deal, OG?
Chilling, man. Young boy and the OG at it again, my friend.
Man, we back at it. We back at it like crack addicts.
Yeah, man. Since the teens, we've been doing a two-man force. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the two-man weave. You know what I'm saying? Coming down the court, like wow.
You know what I mean? Doing the give and the go.
Yep. Yes, sir. You know the deal. They got the beer gang coming through. You feel me?
Beer gang heavy tonight.
Beer gang heavy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, sir.
Before we start, I mentioned what the show was, but I just want to officially put it out there. This episode 16 Mask Off. This is Mask Off Podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to give a shout out to the young boy I met Wednesday night. He became a subscriber, and I was telling him about the show, and he said, "Y'all got 115 episodes." I said, "Yeah, we in there. We in there."
Yeah.
And if you ain't in there, you ain't nowhere.
Yeah.
You know what I
mean? They see the longevity, they see the history. You feel me? This is what we do, man.
People get a perception when you start not seeing certain people, or things change, that the concept don't remain the same. You know what I mean? And that's not the case, man. We in it to win it, man. This is what we doing, and this how we getting down, man. So, without further ado, man, how was your week?
Man, my week was good, man. You still hear me good?
I hear you. You're doing some robotic shit again a little bit, but let's talk it through.
Yeah. My week was great, bro. I can't even complain, man. I'm learning so much. It don't feel the best. It does feel the best. Let me rephrase that. Let me take that back. It does feel the best because it's the process that I need in order to grow to where to go and grow to where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? And you cannot. And it's not even a motivation. Man, it's just all experience right now.
Before you do the motivational minute, come in, and the process. I don't know why it sounded robotic tonight, but it's doing it again. But I'm glad, man. I'm glad that you doing things and you learning. That's what life is about. Life is about growth and change, man. And you go on a journey, and the people that you have around you, they influence you in all different aspects, whether it's negative, it's positive. People influence you, and you go on this journey to figure out who you are through navigating around all these walks of life, all these people that surround you. You know what I mean? So you lose yourself, you find yourself. That's what life is about, man. And it's a journey within itself, man. I can't be more gracious to be a part of on the flip side of the earth, man, because right now there's so many beautiful things taking place in my life, man. My kids are succeeding, you know, they're getting prosperous in life, they're growing. Um, I spent half the day today having conversations with my son and my daughter. And, uh, for those who don't know, they in Philadelphia right now. And, I'm in Detroit, and just not having them around me, well, mainly my daughter stays there with her mom, but my son, I raised him in Detroit. And not having him around, it's I miss him. I ain't gonna lie, I miss him. I wish he was here, but I understand how important it is for his mom to be a part of his life too. But that's my right hand man. When I'm riding out, you know, he riding out. I sent the young boy pictures of when him and my son was playing basketball. And you know, my young boy, he was trying to put in some work. Malachi was acting like he was Gary Payton on my young boy.
Hey man, I'm gonna have to come back out there, man. Have to pull up. You put
Yeah.
something on the grill, you know what I'm saying? And I'll school both of y'all again.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts to think that you would do that. You know what I'm saying?
Let's make
That
it happen,
hurts.
man. Let's make it happen. I ain't even gonna talk nothing
Oh,
else about it.
man, I'll put these piston draws on and it's over, man. You know what I'm saying? It's championship. Game time, game time. You know what I mean? And you don't want them problems. You don't want them problems, man. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah.
So
We'll see.
I will
Like this. So date.
go ahead.
Can you hear me now? It's still doing the same thing?
I don't know what's up with your feed, but it start off good, but it keep going. Look, man, I don't know what you're doing, StreamYard, but this is the young boy and the OG at it again. Y'all gotta chill out, man. You gotta chill out. And I don't know, what I mean, if they trying to assassinate us because we've been going for 116 episodes strong. You know what I mean? But I don't know what it is.
I think like,
Huh?
nah.
You going back?
Yo.
You might have to put it on the computer. You might have to do that. You know what I'm saying? But either way, I'm gonna be here rocking with you. I'm gonna be talking to the people. Let's go. So, with this episode, we wanted to talk about something near and dear. It's called fatherhood. It's called being a man. What is being a man? What is that? And a lot of men get caught up in this perception, is this ideology that if things don't work out with the significant other that you have to have a kid by, that things all bad, and I was on the tail end of that at one point, man. I had to learn that despite me and this young lady not coming to terms with each other, I had to figure out what would be the best move to raise my kids. Like me, myself, I love kids. I love making an impact in their life. I love having them around me, so I can influence them in a positive light. We was just talking about influencing, and I like to be a positive influence to kids, so the ability to have my own kids and be blessed with a daughter and a son, that's like the ultimate gift, man. So um at one point in my life, I was married, but I ended up getting a divorce, and it was really, really bad. And I couldn't understand how she was so good at cutting it off when it comes to the kids, but me, she was like Spitfire. So I had to learn how to not necessarily play a game, but learn how to separate myself. Like I watch a lot of nature channels. Separate myself like a scorpion. Like put the scorpion sting and just keep it moving like nothing happened. So I had to learn how to do that. And with me doing that, I had to figure out how can I maneuver around my kids to, show them I'm a positive influence, not disrespectful. I can learn how to keep it moving, and it took a lot of time. Took a lot of time, man, because going through the courts, going through situations like that, you really and I don't necessarily know about white men, but I know as far as black men, you really don't have no leg to stand on. The courts don't necessarily give us any leeway because, from what I remember, when I was dealing with Philadelphia court system, they kind of cater to women because there's a lot of women that work for um, an agency in which help perpetuate the stereotype that men ain't shit. And and I have to say that in a lot of these women cases, men really wasn't shit. And I'm gonna be frank, they weren't. You know what I mean? You having multiple babies with different women, and you're not being accountable for what you do, and you cheating on one girl and another girl, and they having babies at the same time, and you don't think about how that affects not only the relationship between you and whatever partner you want to be with, but it also affects the outcome, how you'll have a messed up relationship with one of those kids. And it ain't their fault. You know what I mean? One kid get everything and another kid get the short end of the stick because of decisions that, we make as men, so I had to learn how to navigate, how to be what considered to be a good man. And, you know, men, we get a bad rap for the things we do, the hangups we have, the choices we make. We get a bad rap. And I know a couple guys who was with good women, but I can't necessarily speak for how their relationship was because I wasn't laying down with the women. But for whatever reason, these same men they chose to step out. I know one that's now he got like a little 3 month old, uh, 3 year old, and in his late 40s, and I'm like, are you doing it? You know what I mean? And with men, man, we have to deal with our mistakes head on, not just with the woman, but with the support that comes from the state too. So that's a whole nother thing, man. And I want to tap into a show that kind of goes into child support, and the horrors of child support, because it's a lot of men that don't know the system, that's scared of the system, who has warrants, who avoid going to any court room setting, period, and fighting for your rights, because you have a right to see and be a part of your kid's life. One of the things that I went through when my kids was growing up was, I think I said it previously, my ex-wife's demeanor and attitude based upon how we didn't necessarily see eye to eye because I was doing things in the marriage that I shouldn't have done. She felt slighted and she felt hurt, so she wanted to hurt me as much as possible. And what comes along with that is an inability to grasp the fact that we still got these kids and we got to function accordingly, because you don't really understand, especially men, we don't really understand that, yeah, you have a kid, the woman have a kid, you know what I mean, y'all have a kid together, but no one has rights to that kid. You know what I mean? So it's always easy for the law to put the kid with the parent, the female, because they gave birth to the kid. So if you don't fight for your rights or know your rights as a man, you get in a position where you're at her disposal. You're at her disposal because women get taught these things to go to child support. Uh, he ain't gonna be good. You need to figure out a way where you can sustain a living. They get a lot of support, whether it's from the state they involved with, whether it's HUD housing, whether it's food stamps, whether it's cash assistance, whether it's child care, and somebody can answer for that. And if you don't answer the call as to what you're doing, Uncle Sam coming for you, baby. You know what I mean? And they always win. Anything that involves good old Uncle Sam, he gonna win. He gonna get his money, man. You know, in my day, I've seen men get locked up based on child support. They was in arrears, a gazillion amount of money. You thinking, how is he gonna pay this? Gonna pay it in blood, And it's unfortunate because you get put in a mindset of, man, fuck that, man. You know, uh, uh, I'm not dealing with that. Fuck her and fuck them kids. I've heard men say that. You know what I'm saying? And I think in my life, I was the product of that. My own father, he was, you know, fuck my mom and fuck them kids when he came to my older sister and myself. You know what I mean? And you know, and it's crazy too because I never want or would like to be in a position to where someone else has to tell my story instead of myself. So I've always said that, I have this I can look on the arm. I have this tat on my arm. It says everything I'm not made me everything I am. And the funny thing about that is I put that before Kanye even made a song about it. So no, I ain't get it from Kanye. Anyway, that falls on the lines of how being brought up. I start seeing like men in my mom life and how, you know, so many things that was wrong with them. And this is like in the 80s, like my stepfather or the first actual man that I knew in my life was an alcoholic, like a severe alcoholic. And, I couldn't understand why my mom stuck it out with this guy, and at that time, I didn't know what self esteem was. And I didn't realize because of my mom, her own issues with low self esteem, she was dealing with this guy based upon him when he's not an alcoholic. Now, he would get pissy drunk every day. And the kind of pissy drunk this guy would get, he would get like falling out in the middle of the street, falling out in 105-degree weather. We were at some point the laughing stock of the neighborhood, and it was horrible to watch. It was horrible to watch this guy just deteriorate in front of us. Now, when he was good, he was good. He was real good. He had, he used to have his big old 10 speed. He was like at least like 6'6", slim dude. He was, you know, and he would have his 10 speed and he would ride it all up and down the block. And I remember I was like, I had to be about 6, 7 years old, and he bought me this BMX bike. And this boy asked, can he ride my bike? I'm so young, so green. He asked, can he ride my bike? And the boy took my bike. So I'm standing there looking stupid. Next thing I know, he said, where your bike at? I said, I don't know, but that boy went that way. So next thing I know, he come back like 20 minutes later with my bike in his hand. Well, on his shoulder, riding. And I was like, damn, this dude is this dude is all right. This dude is all right with me. And then next thing I know, the alcoholism, man, it's a horrible thing, man. Horrible thing. I I don't know if you can hear me, Malachi. I was just giving a little backstory about, you know, the influence in my life, the influences in my life, which led me to be the father that I am today. You know what I mean? So, you know, so I don't particularly know. I don't particularly know if
Yeah. Can you hear me?
if you can hear me or not. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You kind of low though.
Kind of low. All right, give me a second. What about now? What
A
about
little
now? Is
bit
that better?
low. Huh?
Is that better now? Hold on. Is that better now?
Let's go with it. Let's go with it.
No, no, no. We ain't gonna go with that. We're gonna go
No,
with
you
something.
good now. You good.
That's good.
Yeah,
There we
that's
go.
good.
Yeah. I'm coming through clear now, right?
Okay, you had to pull an acer out. Boom.
Hey man, hey, you know what I'm saying? Mask off, you gotta keep it going. You gotta don't get discouraged. You gotta find a way, man. It's always a way. You feel me? So now we now we coming through a little more clearer than usual. You feel me? So we're gonna rock with it like that, man. But yeah, I hear you getting down, man. The stories. I ain't heard much. I ain't gonna lie. I just heard when I came in.
Yeah,
But I hear you. What shaped you as a father. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And,
and
and, and I want to do something rare too, because I did have a good motivational minute for the father. So can we go back and then pick back up, if you will?
where you want to go? You want to go to the motivational minute?
Yeah. I want to hit the motivational minute up.
Let's go to the motivational minute. Then let's get it popping. Let's go, Malachi. Let's go.
Thank you, my brother. Quick motivational minute before the motivational minute. Don't get discouraged when obstacles happen. They're either going to be obstacles or opportunities. Okay, your choice is the perception. Cool. Motivational minute for today. This is for my black fathers. This is for the fathers, period. This is for the men in general. Watch who you lay with, man. Watch who you lay with, because when you lay with somebody, there's a high chance of you having a child. If you have that child, you have to take care of that child. And that person that you lay with, you may not want to have a child with that person. So be very cautious, be very careful who you lay with. You have a very powerful energy inside of you, and you have to be careful who you share it with, because who you lay with can make a baby. And if you have these babies, you got to take care of your children. Our job is to be the providers. So you got to provide, shelter, protect, do your job, be a father, or don't lay down. It's a motivational minute. Boom.
That's a deep motivational minute, though. But I think that's where we go wrong at, because our job is more than just being a provider. You know what I mean? Like it, and I think that's the problem with us as men. We think we have one set thing to do: bring
Right.
home the bacon, protect the house. It's a lot more than that, man. That maintains a family, it maintains a
Correct.
structure. You have to be in tune with your mate.
Mhm.
And one thing I learned from my divorce, I was never in tune. I wasn't equally yoked with this woman. So no matter how many times I tried to make things work, we was always bumping heads.
Yeah.
So that's the main thing you want to look at. How are you equally yoked with your mate? Because if you're equally yoked, one of the things that transpire is y'all connect on a different level. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You understand
Absolutely.
that I'm not just in this by myself. We're in this together. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
There's no such thing as 50-50 in a relationship. Sometimes it's 60-40. Sometimes she can be the 60 and the male can be the 40. We lose a perspective as men on thinking that what we need to do is have gender roles. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of men out there today that's talking that Kevin Samuels crap. You know what I mean? And those are the ones that end up by themselves,
Yeah.
still playing kid games, still having 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 women with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 kids, and not being able to provide, or if they can provide, they can't invest in that kid because
Yes.
their time is limited. They
Yes.
always gotta work because it's a lot of good men out here who can't build into a kid because they gotta
Right.
work. They gotta constantly work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I agree with you, but I also would say that still is our first job, because you said it again, if they can't provide. So even whatever else it is, it still revolves around the three of those, because those are the main things, those first things that we need. And this is for the single men as well, because you got to be careful, like you said, who you yoke yourself with, who you lay with, who you call yourself mate, because that's gonna be the mother of your children. You feel me? So if y'all bumping heads, well, how you think that seed is gonna grow up to be? So I agree, man. I totally agree. We got more than just that, but that is the first thing. Yeah.
I think men, man, we get in this perception that, I always had this conversation with women about how it's always one woman that break a man's heart, that changed him into a dog, so to speak,
Yeah, monster.
and
Yeah,
a monster, and that's just the way we are. Like
yeah.
I was brought up to be so respectful to women, and I
Mhm.
still am respectful to women. I was brought up to be a gentleman first. I was raised by women. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
What better way to learn is through women.
Through a woman.
So,
Yeah.
and at one point in my life, I started doing a lot of things I shouldn't have been doing. You
Hmm.
know, uh, cheating on this one, cheating on that one,
Yeah.
and what drove me to that is my inability to effectively communicate my feelings.
Mm.
And even with how I felt about things, I would, okay, cool, no big deal, and go cheat over here
Yeah.
because I'm not effectively communicating how I feel. We get in this mindset of pleasing people. A lot of
Yeah.
men do. I gotta make sure she okay. Because we're never the ones that's being chosen. We're always trying
Yeah.
to choose. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Let me correct that. We're always trying to get chose by a particular person, right? And I don't know if you following me. Men always chase.
Yeah.
Women always in an advantage to be caught.
Yeah. To choose. Yeah.
They in a position to choose.
Yeah.
So we always want to get chose. So we do things. We take
Hmm.
them out. We make them feel good. You know what I'm saying? We compliment them. We pay for certain things. We
Hmm.
do all these things to gain attraction from them. And then once we gain the attraction from them, you may or may not start realizing you don't even like this fucking person no more. You know what I mean?
Right. 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 Once you get to know them more and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but
And
we
and
we I just want to make this point before you go. We don't do our due diligence of taking care of our feelings. What we do is we fake the funk and then do a un we do an unrealistic curve, thinking that they're gonna
Mhm.
go away and they don't go
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah. And it doesn't change. I was gonna say that when it comes to yeah, I lost it. I lost it. Yeah. Um
What you say?
yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say.
So,
But yeah, man, I agree with you though, man. It's definitely the woman. You know what I'm saying? It's the man and the woman. That's what I was gonna say. Okay, so when when a man is single and he wants to, like you said, chase, and he's on that prowl, you know what I'm saying? Like he goes after whatever, whatever, whatever. But once he's ready to settle down, it's a different type of. At that point, he attracts. He turns from this chase mode to now this attraction mode, to where he just positions himself as a man to be seen now, because as you get older and as your desires get different, the tables turn. You know what I'm saying? A lot less actual quality husbands and strong men than there is women, right? So it goes from a chase to now an attract. That's kind of how I see it, because there's a lot of women that's ready to get married. You know what I'm saying? That want a good strong man to just plug into their system.
But then you got guys that's just out here chasing, not really ready for that commitment. They just on the prowl. You know what I'm saying? So do you see my point, my difference?
I get what you're saying. I mean, we coming from two different perspectives because our generations. You know what I'm saying? I'm in
Absolutely.
my 40s and you in your what? Late 20s, early
20s,
30s.
yeah, late
You know what I'm
20s.
saying? So, you still in a mode where you have the ability to have anything in the palm of your hand right now. And I'm not look, fuck that. I'm not saying I can't. You know what I mean? But
You can't, brother.
what I'm saying is
Hey, your chase is done, brother.
I'm done chasing Jay. You know what I mean?
Shout out to DJ Touch.
DJ Touch is a motherfucker, but shout out to DJ Touch. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it boils down to, the reason why we got on this, you were saying choose your mate, be equally yoked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was saying when you was off, how a lot of men don't understand the child support system. So they get caught up in doing bad service to themselves,
Right.
not understanding who they equally yoked with.
Right. I agree. It's a good point.
So that's where I was at with that, So what we can do, man, we can keep the conversation popping. I don't know.
Yeah, we can. Did you have a point that you were already on, or do you want me to bring up?
I was just giving a little backstory about the men that's influenced my life over time.
Okay, that's good. I could talk about that.
And it haven't been all good. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It haven't been all good. Like I was talking about my stepfather, my mom's first, not my father, but my mom's first husband, and how he was like a whole drunk, and we was laughing stock of the neighborhood based upon how my mom's insecurities kept her in a position to stay with this dude.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And me and my older sister, we experienced so much trauma with him. And then my mom picked up her self-esteem, lost a lot of weight. And she got with my little sister father. And this dude, he was like in the streets, you know what I mean? And I remember looking at my mom like, what are you doing? This ain't you. You know what I mean? So, the kid end up in positions based upon the adults' decisions.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point, man. And it goes both ways too. I know I mentioned it with the men, but it also is on the women too. Women making bad choices in men.
And that's exactly where I was at with it,
Yeah, it goes both ways. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I agree.
And my mom, man, bless her heart, she's made horrible decisions when it came to men, but she's always tried to keep a roof over my sisters in my head. And I love her for that. Then I learned that there's no perfect picture in being a parent. You know what I mean? But you want to keep them away from so much BS. And mom, I've never seen her smoke or drink anything. I never seen her do no booger sugar, nothing like that. I just wanted to say booger sugar today. You
heard
me earlier say it.
You definitely said it in the pre-show, yeah.
Yeah, but
you ready for that?
She's never put herself in a position where we can like. But the decisions she make with her mates, me and my sisters, we've been like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Because they're coming into our world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some clowns. And then at that point, they're your father figures at that point. Like you said, this is an example that you've had. So it's very important. We have to be aware of the principles of a person. You know what I'm saying? We get caught up in the non-tangibles, like the money they got, whatever, how they treat you. You got to be a person has to be principally and morally right. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody can make some money, but how's their character? You feel me? The character of a person.
In most cases, man, nowadays a lot of that weight falls on women because they the ones that normally carry the kids with them.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean? Like a lot of men out here are not being responsible enough.
Not at all.
To carry their kids with them, so you end up having a woman make a decision based upon how she emotionally feel about someone that's around her.
Yep.
And my heart goes out to a lot of women because you don't know what you getting yourself involved with. Because it's a lot of dudes out here that show a representative, and women do it too. But men, Look, you'll be surprised, and we talked about it on our show how many pedophiles that go into these people's lives, and transform these kids' lives. You know what I mean?
Because of the decision that the parent made to lay with a certain person.
It's unfortunate that the mom may not even know what's going on. You know what I mean? But these is part of the decisions that may traumatize a kid for the rest of their life, man.
Absolutely.
It's completely unfortunate, man.
Yeah, and it's the spirit of a person too. Certain people have certain spirits on them that, even if it's a spirit of anger, whatever it is, there's a lot of things that you got to be aware of. You know what I'm saying? On all fronts. Like, really check this person out before you really decide to have a full child that can never leave with you. You feel me?
Yeah, not even having a child with them, just being around. If you got kids already, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get a guy in your house and he start hitting on you, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We talked about that on a previous show too. This tall tale signs you gotta look out for. You know what I mean? Like,
you done brought this man around your children.
Yeah, every man ain't gonna be an influence that's positive, and unfortunately, that's the reality about it. You know what I mean?
That is the reality. That is the reality.
What's been your take on father figures in your life, young boy?
Yeah. I've actually been very blessed to have strong father figures in my life. My father, my dad, my pops, man, he taught me so much. Like, he literally raised me. You feel me? He was there. He was there for me. He instilled so many things, so many principles inside of me that I'm still working to implement. But it's like I had that blueprint, and I can always go back to that blueprint, that example of what he laid, of being a hustler. You know what I'm saying? Going and get it, being a provider, and being a man of peace and integrity. And just to be on it, he doesn't miss a step. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't realize it until I became a man, how much he didn't miss a step, how much he hit every mark. You know what I'm saying? And not to say he was perfect, but he hit the marks that I needed. He hit the marks. He set the foundation for me, and set the blueprint for me. So now that the things that I'm doing, I'm implementing those things that he taught me. You know, also of being a man of God, you know, in my spiritual walk. And I even notice how my temperament is. I'm very cool. I'm calm. I'm collected. That's my pops. I'm very charismatic. That's pops. You know what I'm saying? Good looking. Like, I got it all from him. You know what I'm saying? Even with my comedy, I told him, like, you know, I got to thank you for the comedy as well. And he was like, nah, I ain't never was going to get on nobody's stage. And I was like, but it's the charisma that you carry, that I have in me, that sparked these arts. You know what I'm saying? That willingness to not be scared of conversation, and put myself in different positions, and just being fearless. So it's these different principles that, man, I'm grateful for. And I spent some time in my adulthood looking at what I wanted versus looking at what I had. And that drove me to a point of kind of turning against him in a period, like right when on the brink of becoming a man and trying to figure myself out. Instead of taking responsibilities for the decisions that I started to make as a man, as I started to grow up, instead of me taking responsibility, I turned the pressure on him to say, you should have. When he did what he had to do, it was my turn to take the wheel and step up. And I said some things to him that I don't even remember saying. And I'm being very vulnerable with this right now. And it hurt him. You know what I'm saying? It hurt him. And then when I finally, like, we had a conversation about it, and seeing in that moment how it hurt me so bad. And now, because I brought this offense to him that he didn't deserve, you feel me? Then when it was time to talk about it, and now we got over it, we getting through it. The biggest thing was me forgiving myself for it. You know what I'm saying? So once I was able to, it took me a while to just forgive myself. Like, how could I just try to taint the legacy that my father laid for me by looking at all the things that I wanted? You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't even make sense. So it's like that was disrespectful, and I apologized. And like I said, me forgiving myself was the biggest thing, because he did all that he needed to do for me, and I'm foreverly grateful. And I'm grateful that our relationship has healed now to the point where we talk, you know, really often. And I love my father, like because we are, that's my dad, but that's also like one of my best friends. You know what I'm saying? Because we talk and we laugh, and he can still give me advice. called him the other week about some advice I didn't want to hear, but he gave me that accountability that I needed to say, no, that's still your job. That's still what you're supposed to do. So I'm grateful for the continued example that he set, you know.
And that's so dope, man. Like, and that's the energy I want with my son. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I think I'm doing a great job. You know, I'm not even going to toot my horn, but I'm just emotionally invested in him. You know, and
yeah.
You seen him. You know how he is.
Yeah.
That's my young boy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But you know,
man.
I think about what you're saying, and me as a son to a man who's a narcissist. You know what I mean? You don't have those moments of clarity to say I'm sorry because he doesn't take accountability for anything. So I applaud your relationship. I wish I had it for my own self. Like my father, he brought 6 kids in the world, and none of them are like great with him right now. And it's unfortunate. I'm the oldest boy, you know, and you know, you go down a list of things, and you know, it's always when a relationship ain't great, you try to make it great.
Right. You do the work.
You keep trying to make it great.
Trying to work on it. It can't go ahead. I'm sorry.
But when it's only one-sided, it goes nowhere.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I'm a firm believer in, you know what? I've made it this way, this far without you. I'm going to continue to make it without you going forward. And I had to learn to put all these insecurities that I had about what I was missing. And I had to realize I wasn't missing anything.
Right.
I learned these tools through examples I saw.
Yes.
In my life, male examples I saw in my life. And that's one thing we don't take advantage of. A lot of men who don't have a father figure in their life, they lean to things that's not going to be positive for them.
Right.
Like they lean to the niggas selling drugs. They lean to niggas that's the same age as you. They lean to motherfuckers who don't have the best mindset.
Yep.
Exactly. And those are things I didn't do. You know what I mean? Because I knew at the end of the day, I didn't want to embarrass my mom. The love I had for my mom, I didn't want to embarrass her. So I took this nigga out of the equation altogether. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And every now and then I used to get to a point where I'm like, well, what about my kids? My kids need to know who their grandfather is. And then I took them over there, and it was almost like he said, well, eventually I knew you was going to come here. You know what I mean? So that was the narcissistic attitude he had. Like,
still
I don't
had
do shit. You know what I mean? He was never open. He never is open to discuss anything that he can take accountability for. So he, you know, I've just got to a point where it's like, I can't do it. So I'm just going to cut you off completely. My kids don't need to know you. My kids figure out something else, but no.
Yeah. It's a good point, man. And going back to my dad, man, you know, it's the biggest thing I'm seeing now, like you said, accountability is those are principles as a man, responsibility and accountability. And that's the biggest thing that I've took away from him, that I have currently with him, is he takes responsibility. There's no excuse, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like whatever it is, and he holds me accountable to those same things, or whatever you're responsible and accountable for. Like you got to do it, and he'll listen. He'll hear you out, and if it boiled down to those two things, he's still gonna put it back to you. And that's when you can take and receive the good and the bad. That's what makes you a man. You know what I'm saying? Do the work, take the good and the bad, and continue to just get better. You know,
it wasn't a father figure who taught me that. It's dealing with women and seeing how their story, you know what I mean? Because men, I'll be honest, we some motherfuckers at times.
Yeah.
And we would do them some kind of way, and just seeing if you set an expectation and you say, hey, look, I'm not gonna be this way with you. I'm going to do this by you. I'm going to do that by you. and you don't do it and you let them down, you have to be accountable for your actions.
You do.
You got to take responsibility and accountability for your actions as a man. Like you said, those are the things you do.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and my father, man, that grind that he has, like he always had a drive to want to be the best at whatever he did. And that hustle, that drive, that determination, it took him high. He my father worked for like 5 or 6 Detroit mayors in a row in the mayor's office. Starting from just like cutting grass and stuff, like on some just water department type stuff, moving all the way up. And it was because of the favor he had on his life from God and also his work ethic. You know what I'm saying? He was a hustler for real. He still is. So I'm just seeing that in my life and seeing the areas and times where I get discouraged or don't feel like I can keep going, or I feel like it's too much going on. I always think about him, and he never made an excuse. You feel me? Another person I want to shout out is my spiritual father. I go to Great Faith Ministries all my life, and Apostle Wayne T. Jackson is my spiritual father, and he's his example of the spirituality more so because he's a pastor, and financial, spiritual, mental. It's just the total man. I got the total man from being up under his leadership, and also another accountability. So it all went hand in hand. So I had a great melting pot of examples to follow. Even when I wanted to turn a blind eye to these examples and try to do my own thing, I still had these examples like, okay, but what would he have done? He's like, okay, yeah, you're right. So you need that tangible example, and you're either going to use that example to do what you want to do, or you're either going to learn what to do or what not to do from the examples in your life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm grateful to be on this side of the spectrum, and I'm blessed. I didn't choose it, but we all have to take what the best of what we are given, the best of the example that we are given, and go forward. So
definitely, man. Life it shows you, like at the top of the show I was talking about how you only get one life, and you have to learn how to navigate through so many treacherous waters. You gotta learn how to go with peaks, hills, and valleys on this thing called life, man. And learning to navigate and move through emotions and people, man. And just being a father today, like I was talking about, I got a 17-year-old and a 14-year-old, and I'm such a mushy man. Like every accolade they do, or every time I just look at them and gaze at them, I get to crying because they my world, man. And it just amazes me how just looking at just looking at Kingston, how he's just growing and just maturing to he got a whole mustache now. You know what I mean? And I find it funny. I find it funny because he reminds me of myself at his age, like trying to figure things out, and he can't get it together, but he trying though, So my baby girl, man, she got so much fight and so much spirit in her, and she beautiful, man. I don't know where she got it from with me. I mean, I know I'm handsome. But, I guess
you probably
her mom played a part in that at some point.
Yeah, probably a 78% part of it, but cool.
You know what I mean? So,
Hey, OG, I want to give you your flowers now. I first want to give flowers to my dad, my spiritual father, and flowers to you, OG. You know what I'm saying? I see what you're doing out here in these in this fatherhood streets. And I see what you're doing out here, man. I see even how you just talking about them right now, and I can see how that warms your heart. And that's what it's about. And that's what we need is that love. So yes, sir.
It's a lot of thank you, but I learned from so many other brothers, man. And I have a group, a group of men that we all went to college, Orillas. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And, Orilla Radio, it's still our brotherhood. We Orillas. Yeah. We was the original brothers that was at Defiance College during our time. So we called Orillas, and it's 7 of us. We all men and we all fathers, and I learned a lot from them, man, because they help keep me grounded, and they you know they show me how the example of fatherhood should be. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I learn. You never stop learning.
You don't. It doesn't stop, man. It doesn't stop. So I salute you, man. I salute you. And when it comes to me and fatherhood, man, I know I would be a great father. I'm excited for that day.
Too, and I'm gonna help you be a great father too.
Thank you.
I mean, you're my young boy.
Absolutely. And we locked in. But I'm taking my time because I am I am not ready. Not right now. I'm still learning certain maturities in my life. I could not. It's not time for me to have no children anytime soon yet. So, but when the time comes, I'll be poised, locked in, ready, and I will have found that right woman for me. So, man, my stomach hurt though, so I'm gonna be right back.
Oh my God, this guy! I don't know what's up with him. But anyway, man, like that's the thing, man. Like we just grow up in an era where you just don't you don't realize what's at stake. And when I had my kids, I wasn't prepared. I didn't know what being prepared was about until they came along and they kind of forced me to mature in a sense. So that's just one of the things, man. When it comes to life, you have to stop playing games because you're responsible for somebody else, man. So while I got this moment, man, I want to give a shout out to all the men in my life that have influenced me, that are great fathers, man. Shout out to my man Pops. The show ain't dedicated to you, but I want to give a shout out to you, Pops, Artie, Gene, Tomar, Reggie. Who else I'm missing? Derek, Billy, OG, Mr. G, Mr. Gunther. Shout out to you. You know what I mean? Bailey, shout out to you. You know what I mean? These are real dads, man. Do a real Curtis Tate. You know what I mean? Shout out to you, my brother. It's all love over here, man. You know what I mean? You know how we get down. Big things, man. We're talking about big things with big fathers doing big things. All right.
That's desensitizing or tries to blind me because my findings are the truth. See, I want to bring up a point, brothers and sisters. Did you notice that Juneteenth and Father's Day was on the same day? Now, these are both holidays that we must celebrate and be elated about, but don't scream and shout. Now, the fatherhood should have its own day to be understood. Amen. A man, 2 man, 3 man, 4 man, weave. Do you believe that a fatherhood should have its own day to be recognized and visualized because they trying to desensitize you, black man?
Is that conspiracy, brother?
It is I in the flesh.
Oh my God, man.
What kind of contest is this where you have these banners that are not mine? Are you desensitized?
Where you been, my brother?
Whoa. I've been on a journey of studies that have brought me to one. I don't understand what's fun. Knee to me, you see. 1, 2, 3. But as I am saying, Father's Day is something to say on delay of how fast we need to grow as men to provide and to have a example then. Because the real black man is a father, not just a sperm donor.
You deep, my brother. You deep. You need some bongos. Deep. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Conspiracy Brother. Wow. That is a blast. I can't even say from the past. That is a blast to see Conspiracy Brother in the mix doing his thug fizzle, man. You know what I mean? Wow. You know, I was looking at some old stuff and I ran across some Conspiracy Brother thoughts. And that guy, man, he tapped in with us and he was saying a lot of stuff that needed to be said at the right times, but he would get off kilt. And I don't know. But you know what? It was I don't know. I don't know why I started this like Conspiracy Brother at some point, but that's just me personally. But you done, man, doing your getting your booty butter out?
Man, man. I feel approximately 6.5 pounds lighter, brother. Approximately.
Wow.
Yeah, man. He said body butter. That's funny. Yeah, what I missed though.
Conspiracy Brother popped through, bro.
Conspiracy Brother.
Conspiracy Brother was in here, man. And
we ain't seen him in like a month of Sundays, though.
That's what I was saying. I was telling the people, yo, he popped through this joint, you know, giving them bars. I thought he was Bobby Barr for a minute.
Hey, you know, something different, huh?
Yeah, he was.
Hey, I wonder if Conspiracy Brother got some children out here running around.
Conspiracy babies.
Little conspiries.
Somebody conspired.
Little conspiracies.
They conspired to get some conspiracies.
You know what transpired to get some conspiracies.
Crazy, bro. Crazy.
That's funny, man.
Yeah, man. Once again, man, we doing this thing, man. This show, man, and you know how we get down, man. We giving the people what they want, man. And thank you for tuning in. You got anything to say before we get up out of here?
July 30th, we got the Redford Theater, Mike Larry one-man special. I may get a little bit of time there, but come and support, man. The tickets are selling fast, $25. The VIP are already gone, so you already see what tip they on. You feel me? So pull up, pop out. Saturday, July 30th, Redford Theater.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Well, I don't got nothing extra coming up. I did my show. I did a private show yesterday down at Union Assembly. It was my first time there, and we did it for these architects, and you know, at Union Assembly, it's like tied into that
oh yeah, Mama Spaghetti.
That Mom Spaghetti joint.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Mom Spaghetti.
Yeah. The reason I know that spot is because I've been going out to the Detroit House of Comedy. They just opened that boy up. It's a block over.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's in Hockey Town. But yeah, go ahead though.
Okay, so that if you know a little bit of history, that used to be what?
The Union Square did? I mean, Union Assembly?
No. Where you going? What that used to be?
It still is Hockey Town.
No. Down there where you going?
Hockey Town?
It used to be the Second City.
No, I'm saying Detroit House of Comedy is in Hockey Town.
Yeah, Detroit House of Comedy used to be Second City, Detroit.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. The name.
Yeah.
Not that building.
The name of the place that you're at, you go.
Yeah, it used to be Second City.
It used to be Second City, Detroit.
That theater inside Hockey Town used to be Second City? Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, that's what Heather was telling me that. Yeah. Heather was telling me that, and I was like, huh? Because she was like, yeah, under this stage, and then she was saying all this stuff, and I was like,
yeah, that's how Heather be. Heather give you some history.
If you, she gotta listen to it. Yeah, it was so much. I was like following, but also like, wow, like so blown back at the same time.
Yeah, man. Like, it's a lot of great names in and comedy, and then came out of the second city, Detroit.
That's what she said. That's exactly what she said.
So,
yeah, they all signed. She said they signed some part of the stage, but they painted over it. She said,
I know. You never get rid of.
I probably shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. My bad.
But see, that goes from not appreciating the art,
the history,
the culture. You know what I'm saying?
Switch it up.
You can't just switch something up without understanding what was there before.
Ooh, you know what I mean? Come
on. So, anyway, man, we could talk about that all day, but we got to get up out of here. It's been the young boy, and I'm the OG, and this is Mask Off. This is episode 116, and this is an emotional episode for myself and you. You know what I'm saying? And we
was for sure.
We got through it, man. You learned a little bit
more. Probably have to do a part 2 on this one too, man.
Yeah, you learned a little bit more about me, and if you missed some stuff, so you can go back.
I'm gonna go back and watch it for sure.
Go back and watch it. You know what I'm saying? And you got anything before we roll up out of here?
No, I said my spills. Hey, keep rocking with us. We back 117 next week. Tap in.
You know what it do. And on that note, man, we about to keep it moving. Episode 116, Mask Off Podcast. You here? I'm here. We all here. Every Friday at 9 p.m. Get at you. Get at me. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. And if you're a father, man, take care of them fucking kids. Young boy.
Pops, what's the deal?